Let's get some analysis now on this announcement. Ömer Özkizilcik is the editor of Syria Gündemi, an online platform for experts on the Syria war. Thanks for joining us tonight. So does this agreement really satisfy the competing interests of Russia, Turkey, Iran, the Assad regime, and factions on the ground? Does it mean an offensive has been delayed or that it is no longer a possibility?
So from this point of view and the current circumstance, an opposition isn't delayed, it's closed and it's not on the table anymore. But for this agreement is really positive from the Turkish point of view. It stopped the refugee flow, it stopped a war. Also, the Syrian opposition is quite acceptable towards this deal. But on the other side, if we look to Russia, it's also only a partial. When Russia will secure its Khomeini base in Latakia and will secure some other gains and will secure the front lines, but Iran and the Assad regime, they aren't happy with the solution, as both of them wanted to take back every inch of Syria back. So their policy couldn't be done, and as long as this is the situation, we have to see how Russia will implement this agreement on the ground, because the Assad regime and Iran are capable of escalating the situation on the ground, and so making this agreement null and void.
Well, Russia was previously a guarantor of de-escalation zones in other parts of the country, which, as we know, were eventually attacked by regime forces with Russian and Iranian support. How is this agreement different?
So this agreement is different because there are actual Turkish troops on the ground who are also observing this ceasefire and de-escalation. So in other areas, there weren't any other international force on the other side or any Turkish force who could prevent them. And Iran and the Assad regime were capable of forcing Russia into escalating the situation in other de-escalation zones. But in Idlib, the situation is different. To escalate the situation by Turkish army soldiers are on the ground is a difficult task and it's risky. So even Russia, Iran, and the Assad regime were afraid of escalating the situation with the Turkish army. So the main guarantor for any deal in Idlib is Turkey.
To what extent does this agreement address concerns about terrorist organizations in Idlib that have been reluctant to disarm or join other factions?
So about terrorist organizations, there are two sides of the coin. The first side are the Shia militias which are fighting for the Assad regime. So they are a concern for Turkey as well, because while Turkey was manning its observation points in southern Aleppo, for example, these Shia militias tried to kill actual Turkish soldiers, and Russia had to intervene, and Turkey retaliated to it months ago. So since then, there wasn't any attempt of escalation, but Turkey knows the risk and wants also to secure its soldiers. So it will be a hard task for Russia, and I doubt the Russian ability to force these Shia militias out of the zone. On the other side, other terrorist organizations like Hayat Tahrir Sham or Hurashidin or other minor groups in Idlib, especially in Latakia, they are a concern for all, not only for Russia and the Assad regime, but also for the Syrian opposition and Turkey. And I expect that the minor radical groups in Idlib will be eliminated by force, maybe with the joint operation by Turkish armed force and the Syrian moderate opposition. But regarding Hayat Tahrir Sham, I think Turkey will try to convince them to withdraw from all front lines and to dissolve themselves in the second step. And the radicals inside Hayat Tahrir Sham who oppose this idea, they will become a target. So this deal has some difficulties from Turkish side and also Russian side, and both sides need to show that they are capable of implementing this agreement on the ground, actually.
So what risks, though, are likely to develop if these groups refuse to disarm and adhere to this demilitarized zone?
So there are two major dangers. For Russia, it's that the Russian inability will become clear that they cannot force the Shia militias to withdraw from these areas. For Turkey, it's a security dilemma because Turkish soldiers can become targets of these terrorist organizations. They can become killed by them. So therefore, I think Turkey's reinforcements to the observation points recently was also to secure the Turkish soldiers. There are great walls and big defensive fortifications. And also the moderate opposition works together with Turkey to secure the Turkish soldiers. And I think over the middle term, these terrorist organizations will become all disarmed or eliminated by Turkey and the armed opposition.
All right, Ömer Özkizilcik, thank you for joining us and for your thoughts on this.